Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of two active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. I grabbed these cute panda stickers from Keka Creates. I did some of my own boxes in that pink and black. I do have some numbers and some months printed out as well so that I could include those in my page. But I'm going to try something a little bit different. So I'm starting with completely blank pages so I don't mess up the week before. I do want to do some stamping and inking and things like that, and I'm not sure of the bleed through, but I didn't want to hold myself back because I was afraid that I would mess up the pages on the other side. So I am just starting with completely blank pages this week on both sides. Then I'm going to go ahead and mask off the area outside of the actual planning space of the calendar. I am going to use some washi tape that I don't necessarily love to hold these pieces of paper in place, and then I will start inking. I can't remember exactly where I got the stencil from, so I will look for it. I think it may have come from Pat Catan's back in the day. So if I can find it, I will link it down below. I'll definitely link the pandas though and the distress ink color. But I will mention that the more sturdy your stencil is, the easier this step is. There were some spots on the edge of the stencil that I kept catching on my dauber. So if I had picked something a little more solid, it would have been easier to do this. Also, because this ink is very light, I had to press really hard to get it in there. I also think of that my stamp pad might be a little bit dry. I don't use inks a lot, so it's a little bit drier than I would like, but it's also a distress ink pad, so I think that plays into it as well. So I have to push really hard. I do like to go in circular motions, but with this particular stencil, I kept getting caught up on things. So this is more of a straight line drag instead of the circular motions. But as you can see, I keep catching on a few spots on this stencil. So while I am trying to get the ink down on this page, I will give a few life updates since I have been MIA for, I think, a week now. There will not be a plan with me video this week. This will be it, and then I will probably be sitting in my bed with my box of tissues as I plan out the week for this week. But as you can tell, probably I am sick. My daughter got back into town from DC on Friday night, and we spent probably a half hour looking for my keys in the pouring down rain. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is from, but I also sat outside all weekend. It was beautiful weather, but I sat outside and watched 4 soccer games this weekend, and just that pollen and all the allergens in the air that may have done it too. I'm not quite sure. But we did come home with the championship, so that's 2 in a row for my son. Also on Friday, as I was trying to get my daughter's sheets washed before she got back from her trip, our dryer broke again. Thankfully, again, we still have the old dryer. Church was supposed to pick it up Friday night, so we are keeping the old dryer still so that if the new dryer completely stops working before the repairman comes, we have some way to dry the clothes. I also spent about 24 hours in Cincinnati last week for a funeral. Again, that just takes time away from everything that needs done. So I just did not get around to posting videos. I apologize for that. This week, we're looking at the last 1 or 2 soccer games of the club season. My son did finish tryouts. He made a team. It was not anything that we were worked up about this year, but that is all taken care of. My daughter has her last choir concert. I am supposed to be going north to wine country, but I might also be getting on a plane to go to South Dakota for a few days. My aunt passed away over the weekend. I did fly out to see her and my family last summer, so I don't feel obligated to go out for the funeral, but of course, I would love to be able to be there for my family. I am hoping to get back to my normal posting schedule this week, but we'll just have to see what else life throws my way. But as you all know, there is only so much time in the day. So I am trying to conserve my voice, so I'm going to just play a little music while we finish inking these pages. So even with all of the inking, my spread took about 45 minutes to put together, and I really did start this with no plan in mind, so I thought 45 minutes was pretty good. If you take into account the sizing of the stickers and whatnot, it still was under an hour. When I was working on this, I was still on schedule to put out the videos that I wanted to put out. I had not heard of my cousin's passing, so I was willing to put some extra time into this spread. Had I known what I know now, I probably would not have taken all the time to do all of this inking, but I really just felt like I wanted to do something creative in my craft space. So I just went ahead and did it. There are times where I'm just trying to be a little bit more creative and use some more of my supplies. And I don't feel the pressure to do that, but I do enjoy crafting and using those supplies in my craft room. So when I do have that opportunity, I like to take advantage of it. That being said, I am not upset about spending the amount of time, but like I said, if I had known what I know now, I probably would have put something quicker together. So in addition to the pandas, I did decide to grab these coffee board stickers from Heba Creates. I will link them down below. They're out of stock right now, but I do believe that she restocks several times a year. But I will put that link below if you're interested in these or any of her other stamps. I am going to do a combination of the coffee boards that already have the words and the black backing on them. I am going to use black ink. And then I will also include some of the lined blank boxes, and I will stamp in some of the other sentiments that are included. I did grab a sheet of partially used sticker paper because I wanted to stamp on the sticker paper in case I made a mistake. These are also new stamps, so I wanted to give myself the opportunity to re-ink if I needed to. So as you can see, this first stamp did not turn out very well. And again, a lot of this has to do with the fact that it is a new stamp. I do like to condition my stamps or stamp a few times. I did forget to rub my hand over them. Normally, before you use a stamp or before I use a stamp, I will rub my hand against it. It's almost like there's something on the stamps when they're new. So I like to rub the stamp and then stamp a couple times. But in order to avoid making the mistakes on my planner page itself, I did decide to stamp them out on the sticker paper, then cut them out and put them down. The other nice thing about doing it this way is that it won't show that pink through the stamp. If I stamped directly over top of the pink from my stencil, then you would see the pink come through, and I didn't really want that effect. This first stamp says, "To make me happy, make me coffee, bring me coffee, be coffee." And my plan is to group these coffee boards with one or two panda stickers. I also decide to bring in some pink washi tape just as somewhere to sit the stickers. I don't love things just floating in the air, and I was thinking that the black lines on the planner page itself would have been enough, but I thought it would be an opportunity to bring in a little bit more pink and be able to hold up those stickers. The other coffee boards that I'm going to choose will say "No talkie before coffee." Coffee is my favorite coworker, and I don't give a sip. And again, I am trying to conserve my voice, so I will put on a little bit more music as we finish out these coffee boards. I am using my pokey tool to take off the backing of these stickers. It is kind of difficult to get the backing of the sticker paper off when you cut around it and you're not using like a Cricut to just kiss cut those stickers. And now that I have the right side done, I want to work on the left side, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put those and still leave room for lines for my tasks. I do know that I want to put the pandas on the left side of the coffee board since the pandas are on the right of the coffee board on the right side of the page. I like to try to balance things, and I feel like mirroring them on the left side will help it be more balanced. So let's go ahead and put the left side together. I think this page is turning out so cute. I am loving the pandas, and I know it seems like I overdid it on the pandas, but I went ahead and printed 2 sheets because I thought these would work great in my Hobonichi cousin as well. So I like just having little stickers here and there throughout my Hobonichi cousin, and if I can cut them into strips and just slip them into the back of that Hobonichi cousin, then I always have a few stickers to zhuzh up my page a little bit. And to finish up this page, I did go ahead and put a box in the upper left-hand corner with a panda sitting on top of it or laying on top of it for my month. And then I'm going to drop in the dates for this week. And last but not least, I will come in and draw in some lines for my tasks. Once I finish that, I will call this spread done for this week. And as I mentioned, there will not be a plan with me since I'm about to get my planner out and just write things down while I am laying in bed. I think I'm going to have a cup of hot tea and maybe get the heating pad out and just rest my body for whatever is thrown at me next. May is always a crazy busy month, and all these extra things thrown in has really kept me busy, but I'm trying to not let it throw me off track completely. But I hope that everybody is having a good start to their May and that things aren't crazy busy in your life right now. I do hope that you are all well and healthy above all things. But I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see you in my next video, which will hopefully be later this week. Bye.